Like a lot of people, I've been feeling kind of stuck and maybe even a little bit bored. So I thought, why not commit to 90 days of videos, no excuses, and I'm halfway through. 45 days later, this is what I've learned so far. I used to scroll through YouTube videos in the category of like, I changed my life in 6 months, or I'm gonna take 3 months to change my life. And I used to think, ugh, I wish I had that kind of discipline too. And then I realized that I could apply that to my own life and to my own story. But the thing is, can you actually change your life in just 3 months? How would committing to YouTube and posting consistently help evolve me as a person and as an artist? And when I started to think about it, I wanted to break this journey down into 3 different pillars. So it was going to be that, for one, long form video content, because I have this desire to document. I wanted to experiment and grow, like personally and professionally. And I also think about getting physically healthier, especially now that I'm 38. Like, the time is now to stay on top of health and wellness. How's it going so far? I will say that it has been pretty easy, but that's for 2 reasons. One, I plan ahead like crazy. And for 2, I rearranged my entire life to be able to do this. This is what I look at every day. I have like a super idealist down there, and it's surprising how easily and seamlessly these have flowed together. That made it very easy for me to stay on top of and almost be batched out 2-3 weeks ahead of time. So everything has been less pressure because I'm making it in advance and I have lots of time to think about it. I practiced making long form videos ahead of time. I started my YouTube channel back in August last summer. So I had put out a few long form videos and kind of got a basic understanding of long form video editing. It was more just understanding how to develop a better storyline that was cohesive and would flow in a way that would be digestible. I think that definitely helps a lot too, as I wasn't kind of learning how to do everything all at once under a pressure of time and not knowing how to even edit videos. I also engineered my life so that this could be an attainable goal. Changed my work environment, just in general, switched my priorities and my mindset around on how I viewed work and the world around me. I also timed it so that the majority of this challenge was going to be done through summer months, because I slow down tattooing a lot in the summer. I take a lot of time off, I go out to the lake, and I try to enjoy myself, and then I pick back up again in the fall. So the timing of this challenge was very intentional. And I'm very lucky to have a partner and a family that fully support all my little delusional activities. So I'd say that that is the number one thing. You either have to be a very strong support of yourself, or you have a great support system that encourages all this insane behavior. The hardest thing right now is your ego and the struggle of being perceived as like successful. And I think that manifests in some pretty classic things, which is like imposter syndrome. Like, I do worry about retention rates in my video and the click-through rates and all that data and analytics stuff. So you kind of compare yourself to others' success on this platform. Sometimes I have like a deep resistance for sharing my personal thoughts. Like, that's a real struggle for me. And I think just because it is a more vulnerable side where I think a lot of people just like to stuff that down, and I'm one of them. The embarrassment of being seen, trying something new for yourself as well, because you are putting this out there to the world. But I think the thing with that is nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about what you're doing. And if they do, wonderful, fantastic. I think the other thing with like the health side of me moving more, because I work in an industry where I am constantly sitting hunched over, drawing, contorted in weird positions over somebody's body, trying to tattoo them. So I have been lifting weights a little bit. That's hard. I would say that my favorite video so far was my Finch painting video. I will say that I'm very disappointed how the audio quality sounds, and I don't know if it sounds like that on every device. When I listen to it on my MacBook, it does not. My iPhone does not sound like that, but I just so happened to turn it onto my TV the other day, and in the beginning of the video, the low hum that I mentioned is so loud and distracting. So part of me wants to re-release the video and just completely delete that whole beginning sequence and just have me beginning the painting. I don't know, I might do that as just a personal experiment to see if the video does a little bit better, because for one, I didn't plan that video. It was very impulsive, so I think that my personality shines through a little bit more in that one because I am just looser and making it go, and I'm not following like a trajectory of a storyline. I think like what I've learned from committing to this and making these videos and trying to change my life is that even though I'm focusing on creating content, which is just a consumable that is somewhat disposable, especially for this 90 days challenge of like trying to change my life, it has shown me a key truth, and that is the real value and currency of life is offline. That's where the magic happens. That's where you're experimenting and creating so that you have something of value to put online, which is way more rewarding than just like endlessly scrolling and watching other people live their lives. Because real life and real experiences is where the joy truly lies. And in terms of my analytics, I guess, and what is happening in the background of my channel, I mean, not a lot, to be honest. I will say that click-through rate kind of averages between 5% and 20%, which I understand is fairly good for a small YouTube channel. My best click-through rate was my first video of the series, I'm challenging myself to 90 days of YouTube. When I first loaded that, it had a 20% click-through rate, and then immediately kind of dropped down to my average of like 10, 11%. And again, I think that's just because I'm learning how to make the essence of the video have high value and not drag on too much. But it also kind of made me wonder, are people just wanting to watch videos about how to do YouTube? Because that's the only video that I've made that kind of is in that niche where it's like, hey, I'm going to tell you how to make it on here. I don't know how to make it. I mean, my biggest difficulty is my retention rate. So you can see that I've hit about 50 watch hours. I'm now at 32 subscribers. I gained 16 in the last 28 days. And most of my watch hours are definitely from shorts, which isn't even that crazy of numbers. Like I did 3,000 on one video, and that one video did get me an increase of 16 subscribers. Definitely nowhere near monetization. I do not have 1,000 subscribers. I'm nowhere near 1,000 watch hours, but I guess what I have gained is a pretty deep personal satisfaction of making it this far in the challenge, and I have such a creative drive to keep doing it. This really is like a fun puzzle to figure out. It's real-time problem solving and kind of shifting your experience of life. The 90-day challenge is now running into its second phase. It's normal to start looking ahead and deciding how you're going to tackle that next stage. I want to kind of evolve the digital diary vibe where I'm more confident about sharing my thoughts. Another big goal is branding. Get a better footing with my voice and my aesthetic. And that's always been a little bit of a struggle for me. I think as a tattoo artist, most of the jobs that I do are custom, which means that I dabble in a multitude of styles for really diverse clientele. While this flexibility is definitely a strength in my tattoo practice, sometimes that means that you can almost miss or neglect your true voice and style as an artist and as a person. So I'd like to take the time to pinpoint that artistic tone with cohesive branding and colors and aesthetic throughout my Instagram, my website, and my YouTube channel. And when I think about it, in the last 45 days, it's already changed my life. I'm already changing as a person in the process. I'm journaling more, I'm being more intentional about my thoughts and my feelings, the direction that I'm going in life, the things that I want to accomplish in life, and where I want to push myself further. And this is probably what transformation looks like. It doesn't happen overnight. It's showing up consistently and weekly for yourself and doing daily check-ins. And I started this challenge wanting to change my life in 3 months. And the biggest change is that I intentionally just started showing up for it. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep up with all the adventures going on here, subscribe to my channel because I will be doing a 90-day recap and a year recap because we're coming up to 1 year on YouTube. So follow along for more. Thanks, bye.